this very moment, while the world distracts itself with political and economic crises, a silent and systematic operation is being executed in Israel's shadows. Prophecy teachers who dedicated decades studying the signs of times are publicly admitting their most optimistic calculations have been surpassed by current events' velocity. A document leaked from Jerusalem's most secretive circles has left the world's leading biblical prophecy experts in complete shock. What they discovered aren't mere theories or speculations, but detailed architectural blueprints, precise timelines, and photographic evidence proving that Third Temple reconstruction is no longer a distant dream, but an ongoing reality that could materialize far faster than anyone imagined. What you're about to discover will shake your convictions about the times we're living in. We're witnessing not just preparations, but the final execution of a prophetic plan that was waiting for the right moment to be revealed to the world. If you sense something extraordinary is happening in our days, hit that like button now, because this revelation will completely change your understanding of final events proximity. The leak began when an Israeli engineer working on classified projects related to Jerusalem's infrastructure decided to break silence about what he witnessed over the past 3 years. According to his testimony, partially confirmed by independent sources, complete Third Temple architectural plans are being monthly refined by a multidisciplinary team, including archaeologists, theologians, structural engineers, and ancient construction specialists. These blueprints aren't conceptual or theoretical. They're executive projects with precise technical specifications, structural load calculations, ventilation systems adequate for large crowds, and even details about special lighting to highlight sacred utensils. The detail level is impressive. Every stone calculated, every measurement checked against biblical descriptions, every system designed to function perfectly from day one of operation. What most shocked specialists was discovering the blueprints include innovative architectural solutions for the apparently impossible problem of coexistence with the dome of the rock. Using three-dimensional scanning technology and ultra-precise archaeological data, designers identified the exact original Holy of Holies location and developed a structure that can be built without physically interfering with existing Islamic monuments. Dr. Randall Price, one of today's most respected biblical archaeologists, confessed in recent interview he was completely unprepared for the sophistication and viability of revealed plans. According to him, what seemed logistically impossible now has concrete and executable solutions. But architectural plans are just the tip of the iceberg. Complementary documents reveal detailed timelines dividing construction into strategic phases. The first phase, internally called Holy Place Preparation, has been underway for 2 years and includes discrete foundation excavation, underground support system preparation, and creation of secret access routes, allowing material transport without attracting public attention. The second phase, denominated Main Structure Elevation, is scheduled to begin once certain geopolitical conditions align. This phase would last only 18 months and result in a completely functional structure, ready to receive sacred utensils and initiate ceremonial services. The third phase, consecration and activation, would involve transferring artifacts created by the Temple Institute, site purification with red heifer ashes, and resuming daily sacrifices as prescribed in Moses' law. What most impresses in leaked documents is the precision of involved prophetic calculations. Planners aren't working only with human timelines, but incorporated specific interpretations about divine timing based on biblical cycles, sabbatical years, and prophetic patterns identified in Scripture. Subscribe to the channel now and hit notifications, because coming months promise even more impactful revelations about this project that could redefine human history. Biblical prophecy specialists who access the documents report details confirming suspicions fed for decades. Rabbi Chaim Richman, Temple Institute International Director, always maintained cautious posture about specific timelines. However, close sources indicate that in recent months, he's shown unprecedented confidence about reconstruction's proximity. Chuck Missler, before his death, predicted temple reconstruction would be the catalyst for a series of cascading prophetic events. His predictions about final events' velocity are proving surprisingly accurate given current evidence. Dr. Thomas Ice, pre-tribulation eschatology specialist, publicly admitted recent developments forced revision of his previous estimates. According to him, we're no longer talking about decades, but about a much narrower time window than any of us imagined. Al Lindsay, author of The Late Great Planet Earth, declared in recent radio program that current signs exceed any scenario he considered in 40 years of prophetic ministry. His declaration caused shockwaves in international evangelical circles. But why is this revelation specifically shocking prophecy teachers? For decades, it was taught that Third Temple reconstruction would be preceded by dramatic geopolitical events, devastating regional war, global economic collapse, or radical change in Middle East power balance. Revealed plans suggest completely different approach: gradual, discrete construction, taking advantage of political opportunity windows without waiting for catastrophes. This strategy surprised even the most experienced prophetic observers, who were trained to look for spectacular signs and disruptive events. The possibility that history's most significant temple could be built relatively peacefully and organized wasn't in main eschatological scenarios. Subscribe to stay updated on these developments that are reshaping prophetic understanding worldwide. Theological implications are profound. If the Third Temple can be built without prior apocalyptic war, this fundamentally alters interpretations about final events sequence. Many prophetic chronologies will need revision to accommodate this new reality. Additional documents reveal the project isn't limited to temple's physical structure. There's a comprehensive plan to completely restore the sacrificial system, including training hundreds of priests, creating sustainable ritual economy, and even protocols for receiving pilgrims from all nations. The most impressive aspect is preparation for global crowds. Blueprints include accommodation systems for millions of annual visitors, sophisticated security infrastructure, and transmission technologies allowing real-time temple ceremony monitoring from anywhere in the world. This last characteristic is generating intense debates among theologians. Revelation 11:9 mentions peoples, tribes, tongues, and nations observing temple-related events. Including global transmission technology in current plans seems direct preparation for literal fulfillment of this prophecy. Comment below your opinion. Is modern technology being used to facilitate fulfillment of specific temple prophecies? Another shocking aspect of documents is security protocol detailing. Planners clearly anticipate significant resistance and developed strategies to protect both construction and future temple operations. This includes discrete defense systems, emergency evacuation routes, and even underground bunkers to protect sacred artifacts in case of conflict. These protocols' sophistication suggests planners have privileged information about possible future threats. Israeli intelligence sources, speaking under anonymity condition, confirmed coordination exists between temple planners and national security agencies. Prophecy teachers were also impressed with precision of biblical references incorporated in plans. Each architectural decision is justified with specific verses, demonstrating theological knowledge level rivaling today's greatest biblical scholars. Temple measurements follow exactly Ezekiel 40:48 specifications, but also incorporate First Temple of Solomon elements and practical adjustments for modern needs. This synthesis of biblical fidelity and contemporary functionality impressed even skeptical project critics. Dr. Randall Price observed that the theological research level evident in plans exceeds what we see in most academic institutions. This observation raises questions about who's really behind the project and what level of resources are invested. Photographic evidence accompanying documents shows physical preparations already began at undisclosed locations. Satellite images analyzed by independent specialists confirm construction activities in restricted areas near Jerusalem. These constructions' pattern is consistent with support structures for large-scale projects. Specific construction materials are being acquired in quantities suggesting preparation for something monumental. Stones cut according to ancient specifications, Lebanon cedar wood, precious metals in industrial quantities, and rare textile materials are being discreetly accumulated. Logistical coordination revealed in documents is impressive. There's detailed timeline for material delivery, equipment installation, and specialized workforce mobilization. Everything calculated to minimize public exposure until construction reaches irreversible point. Prophetic observers noted this pattern of secret preparation, followed by sudden revelation, is consistent with biblical patterns. Jesus himself appeared publicly only when his hour had come. The Third Temple may follow similar divine chronology. Prophecy teachers' reactions vary between excitement and concern. Some see dramatic confirmation of their interpretations about Christ's second coming proximity. Others express caution, remembering not all religious activity in Israel necessarily represents legitimate prophetic fulfillment. Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum, Jewish Christian eschatology specialist, warned, "We must discern between human preparations and divine timing." According to him, premature temple construction could represent human religious zeal, not necessarily heavenly approval. This tension between prophetic enthusiasm and spiritual discernment is dominating debates in seminaries and biblical conferences worldwide. Plan revelations forced fundamental re-evaluation of eschatological presuppositions that seemed established. What remains incontestable is that something extraordinary is happening in Israel. Revealed documents represent the most detailed temple reconstruction planning ever produced in modern history. Whether result of divine inspiration or human ambition, plans exist, resources are being mobilized, and execution seems inevitable. Prophecy teachers agree on one point: coming years will be decisive in determining whether we're witnessing preparations for literal fulfillment of millennial prophecies or human project that could have unforeseen consequences. Documents conclude with timelines suggesting specific milestones in the next 24 months. If these dates confirm, the world may be preparing for modern history's greatest religious and prophetic transformation. These plans' revelation marks inflection point in contemporary prophetic interpretation. Regardless of their definitive theological implications, one thing is certain: the Third Temple is no longer a distant possibility. but planned reality with impressive precision. Time will reveal whether these plans represent divine preparation for prophetic events or human activity that could irreversibly alter the worldwide spiritual landscape. In both cases, implications are monumental for all who take biblical prophecies about end times seriously.